Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. In this video we're going to be looking at the UFC's Bantamweight division and scoping out what's next matchup wise and who will be the champion at the end of 2025. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Looking at the division, not many matchups are set in stone.
No.
Honestly, I'm not sure whether you're talking about my Tinder profile or the Bantamweight division when you're talking about lack of matchups. But there's seriously a lack of matchups.
Yeah. So there's a lot to go through. There's a lot of matchups that we would like to see this year. And there's a lot of potential contenders that we could see knock on the door, especially towards the end of the year. I've already got one person in mind, which I think might surprise people. And that would be Peter Yan because of his win against Davison Figueiredo.
Yeah, he looked
now, prior to that fight, I think a lot of people felt that Figueiredo was going to beat him and be the next person in line. Mm-hmm. But that's not played out. And Peter Yan actually had a terrific performance against Figueiredo. But
if Figgy won, you would have chalked him for the top spot.
Yeah, I think he would be next in line.
Oh yeah, 100%. He'd definitely be up there. I'm probably sure they'd still stick with Umar Nurmagomedov, but he would probably be next after that fight.
But do you think that Peter Yan will fight someone first in the division before getting the title fight? Because he's in third at the moment.
Does he rematch Sean O'Malley? That's the question.
That is the kind of question I'm thinking about here at the moment, you know. For Sean O'Malley, he's not got much else, right?
He doesn't, but there's two matchups that I would actually love to see for O'Malley. And that's Corey Sandhagen, which again, anyone would love to see that matchup. Both stylistically, both great strikers, both rangy strikers. Both love to mix it up. And then the other matchup, which he could probably
Triple C.
I was going to say he'd probably talk his way into that fight.
Yeah.
And he's teased on his social media that he's got a matchup sort of in the limelight. And could that be Sean O'Malley? Could you imagine?
I think, look, Triple C could either come in for Sean O'Malley or Peter Yan. And the thing about Peter Yan is he's someone he's just defended his spot. To do it again might be, a bit brave, but then looking at the state of the division, it's probably the only thing he can do, honestly. However, for Triple C, he can run his mouth, and he has before against Sean O'Malley.
He has, but I mean, he's talked himself into these matchups, and he's on a 2-fight losing skid.
Yeah.
And he's saying he's got a top 5 opponent booked. I'm saying it would be someone as far as Corey Sandhagen, and that's purely because I think Corey's as game as they come.
Yeah,
he's willing to fight anybody. The fact he was willing to fight Umar and risk his spot against someone who's so far down in the rankings, I think he would accept a fight with Henry Cejudo, and I think Peter Yan will rematch Sean O'Malley.
I think them matchups kind of still make sense. Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan, it was very close. I actually thought Peter Yan won the fight when they first originally fought anyway. So
for Sean, if he's beaten away another contender, and he wants to get a shot back at the champ. So
who knows though? Like if Umar goes in there and beats Merab, that Sean may not even need to fight. If you get what I mean, he may just
get it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe if O'Malley sticks out, I guess. If he,
but obviously I doubt it. But you know what I mean. You just never know these days.
But also, why are we counting out Dvalishvili? I mean, we haven't given good reasons to why we're counting this guy out. He's currently come through the division in flying colours, 11 win streak. He's done nothing wrong. The cardio of this guy is inhuman. What is it that we're counting out about him to suggest that the likes of Umar Nurmagomedov or even Corey Sandhagen could trump it?
I'm not counting him out at all, really. I mean, I think it's going to be a super close fight against Umar. Mm-hmm. I think it's just more or less saying what if this scenario was to play out where Umar beats him. There's a lot of questions with that fight. Like I said, I think it's super, super close on paper. I think it's going to come right down to the wire, if I'm honest.
Are we still saying that Merab will be the toughest opposition that Umar's coming up against?
Or I think
more challenges.
I think they're both guys are their toughest fight in this division. Yeah. Before we talk about that fight and get into the prediction, any merging contenders that can kind of break top 10, perhaps? When you look at
my most exciting prospects outside of top 10, and I will say Bautista, who sits at top 10. Certainly, just for that really attractive win streak, and obviously how he was able to beat Jose Aldo. But then, of course, you got someone like McGee who's been doing it against some real tough competition.
Marcus McGee against Jonathan Martinez looked incredible. Yeah, I think it was the last 2 minutes of that third round. Jonathan Martinez was getting them leg kicks off, but he does that at every opponent he's against. McGee looks so good in that fight. I can't wait to see what's next for him, obviously in 2025, so he can make some leaps and bounds.
I would love to see McGee tested against someone like Vera, for example, or Rob Font even. Either of those fights I think would be pretty good for him. I'm not sure the UFC are looking at really leapfrogging anyone in between top 10 and 15 anytime soon. But just because between top 10 and in the top 10 you've already got some exciting talent to work with.
Marlon Chitavera, who's a bit of a fan favourite. Who could he fight this year?
I think we mentioned Henry Cejudo earlier. You never know that them two could get paired up.
Stylistically,
which I think is a good fight.
Who do you think would be a good fight for Cejudo? I actually kind of think Song Yadong, but
stylistically, he would beat him.
He would want that fight. Stylistically, I think that one makes sense because he's got to get a winnable fight next.
Yeah, he has to get at least another win to warrant all of the talk that he's trying to come through with.
Yeah. Big question, because of course the fight with Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov is happening this weekend, very early on into the year. But who's your champion at the end of the year? So
it's certainly going to set the tone, isn't it? I think there's enough time for a rematch to take place, or even Umar to really get challenged on multiple occasions throughout the year. But I do believe that he's going to be able to hold it down. He's going to sit firmly in that number one spot. I like Umar Nurmagomedov to be champion of this division by end 2025.
Ash, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Umar Nurmagomedov. I just think he's too good. I think stylistically he's got a great style. We all know he's got a great grappling. He's got that underrated striking as well. Not a lot of people rate his striking, but he has great striking. So yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov to champion by the end of 2025.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same as well, purely because I think his striking will be a bit too much for Merab. I think it will stay on the feet and he will outpoint him. I'm expecting a really close fight, and like you said, Si, I think it is possible that these two could very well run it back later on in the year if it is that damn close. However, on the flip side, we didn't get that with Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland, because that also was a very close fight. UFC decided to move on with things after that. So if it is close, one of them gets the nod, then, are the UFC going to want to hold up the division? Is there going to be a contender there, though?
Yeah, that's what my next question would be is, who is next then? Let's say he gets the win. Who else would you run up against him between now and the end of the year?
I think people have got to get some wins under their belt. Not to sort of go back, not to backtrack too much, but Sean O'Malley needs a win. Peter Yan, maybe one more win.
Or, I mean, looking at how there's no real next contenders, it could just be Peter Yan.
It could be.
Because otherwise it would have been Figueiredo.
It could be.
Yeah. Peter Yan could be your... Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, though, is if Merab gets it done, and do you really want to run...
Yeah, no, of course
Peter
not.
Yan fight back?
Yeah.
That won't.
That's not the case. But yeah, like Si said, if Umar wins, you never know. But I think there's a lot of people in this division that need to get another win to sort of establish themselves that top contender in this division. And I'm even saying that Peter Yan, I think, runs it back with O'Malley first and then potentially fights. Fair.
I myself would have stuck with Merab Dvalishvili for this one, but I think there's another division where I've kind of did a bit of an outlandish move like that. So I'm sticking with my mind instead of my heart in this one, and I do think the skill set of Umar's going to get it done, and he's going to be holding firm as well throughout. All right, cool. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. That was our UFC Bantamweight Division Champion predictions for the end of 2025. So stay tuned for more coming up in just a sec.